Hello students, how are you all? So you know that in previous video we discussed about the process of transcription, isn't it? So where an mRNA molecule is produced by DNA, okay, so where the copying of information from DNA to mRNA is what is known as transcription, okay. So you know the next process is translation in protein synthesis. So before that we have to know about the genetic code, okay. It means what is the genetic code and what are the properties of genetic code. So this is also a very important concept as far as your examination is concerned, okay. So let us start with the genetic code, okay. So what is this genetic code and who proposed this concept of genetic code, okay. So what is this genetic code? See, genetic code is nothing but the sequences of bases which are transferred from DNA to mRNA, and mRNA to protein, The sequences of bases which are transferred from DNA to mRNA and mRNA to protein is what is called as the genetic code. Okay. So, see, in mRNA there are definite sequences of bases of about the group of 3. For example, like AUG, a group of 3 nitrogenous bases here nothing but the nitrogenous bases. A group of 3 nitrogenous bases which are found on the mRNA, that is what is called as a genetic code. See, the information in DNA, you know that it is found in the form of nucleotide sequences, isn't it? It is found in the form of nitrogenous bases. You know the nitrogenous bases which are found in the DNA, that is A, B, C, T. So these 4 nitrogenous bases which are arranged in definite fashion, in definite manner, okay. So they are arranged in different combinations in DNA and that is stored inside the DNA, that is what is called as a genetic information, isn't it? So where you have studied about the central dogma of molecular biology, it is nothing but the transfer of or unidirectional flow of genetic information from DNA to mRNA and mRNA to then it is converted into a protein molecule, isn't it? So the transcription and translation mechanism. So to synthesize a protein from DNA molecule, it means to synthesize a protein inside a cell, it needs a message. Okay, so that message for a particular protein that should be carried by the messenger RNA, that is nothing but the mRNA, isn't it? So at what form the message is transferred from DNA to mRNA, that is what is called as a genetic code. The message from DNA get transferred to mRNA in the form of 3 bases, 3 nucleotide sequences in a definite manner, in a pair of 3 nucleotides, and that is what is called as a genetic code. The definite sequences of bases which are found or which are transferred from DNA to mRNA and from mRNA to protein, that is what is called as a genetic code. A genetic code that specifies an amino acid. See, there is a relationship between the nucleotides which are found on the DNA. Similarly, the codons which are transferred from the mRNA to the DNA, the genetic code transferred from DNA to mRNA, and the synthesis of proteins from mRNA. Okay, that is what is called as the synthesis of proteins from mRNA, then transfer of message from DNA to mRNA, mRNA to protein. All of these, there is a link, there is a direct link between these. What is the information found on the DNA get exactly copied to the mRNA molecule in the form of triplets. Triplet means in the form of group of 3 nucleotides like AUG, UU, URC, AC, like that. A group of 3 nucleotides, a group of 3 bases which are found on the mRNA or transferred from DNA to mRNA, that is what is called as a genetic code. And that each genetic code will specify us an amino acid. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು genetic code ಒಂದು amino acid ಅನ್ನು specify ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay? ಅಂದ್ರೆ there is a direct link, there is a direct relationship between the nitrogen bases found on the DNA, the genetic code found on the mRNA, and the type of amino acids found in the protein. ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, mRNA ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಇದೆ, ಕೋಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, DNA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಇತ್ತು, everything there is a link, there is a direct connection, there is a direct link between all those things. The message transferred from DNA, the message carried by the mRNA, and the amino acids in the protein. There is a direct link. The reason is mainly because each genetic code will specifies us an amino acid. ಒಂದು genetic code ಒಂದು amino acid na specify ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay, suppose if mRNA is carrying a code like this, like UUU, you know the function of tRNA, so that is nothing but the transfer RNA carry the amino acids to the particular site, that is to the site of protein synthesis, isn't it? The tRNA, you know, that comes and reads the message found on the mRNA, that is through its anti-codon region. So by that the tRNA will bring the corresponding amino acid. Suppose mRNA is carrying the codon like UUU, the message on the mRNA is like UUU, then tRNA will bring the corresponding amino acid like phenylalanine. Okay, so like that, whatever the codons which are found on the mRNA. What is a codon? A codon is nothing but a definite group of 3 bases. Okay, so a group of 3 bases is what is considered as a code. Whatever the coded message found on mRNA, according to that coded message, the tRNA will bring the corresponding amino acids to the site of protein synthesis. So this is how the protein molecule is synthesized, by the transfer of information from DNA to mRNA and from mRNA to protein. So there is a direct link between all those things, and there is all of them, they are arranged in a linear fashion. How bases arranged in DNA? So the similar bases can be seen, in similar manner can be seen on the mRNA. Again, the amino acid arrangement in the protein also, that is also in similar manner according to the bases found on the mRNA. Okay, hence what is a genetic code? A genetic code is a definite sequences of bases which are transferred from DNA to mRNA and from mRNA to protein. That is what is called as a genetic code. And genetic code is always found in the form of a triplet manner. Triplet manner means the group of 3 nucleotides, a group of 3 bases, and each of them a group of 3 bases that specifies an amino acid. They particularly codes an amino acid, and one particular amino acid in a code ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So you know that there are 20 different amino acids can be seen in a cell, naturally occurring amino acids. There are 20 naturally occurring amino acids in a cell, and of the 20 naturally occurring amino acids, 20 of them they are used in the synthesis of a protein. But they are arranged in various number, their arrangement, okay, that is different from one protein to another protein. But in all the proteins, the most common thing is they are having 20 amino acids, 20 different amino acids, 20 naturally occurring amino acids that can be seen. Okay, so to code 20 amino acids, how many codons are required? To code 20 amino acids, how many codons are required? So one thing, suppose if we consider single code codes for a single amino acid anta ನಾವು consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, singlet consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, singlet means a single code that codes for a single amino acid ಅಂತ ನಾವು consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, you know what are the codes found on the mRNA? That is AGCU, isn't it? AGCU 4 code ಆಯ್ತು. Suppose A coding for one amino acid, G is coding for another amino acid, C is coding for another amino acid, and U that codes another amino acid ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, what will be the number of amino acids? ಎಷ್ಟಾಯಿತು amino acids? So only they can specify only the 4, isn't it? Only 4 amino acids will be specified by 4 codons, 4 bases, 4 nitrogen bases. But what is the number of amino acid? It is 20. There are 20 naturally occurring amino acids can be seen in all different types of proteins. Remember, their arrangement and number is different from one protein to another protein. But basically irantaddu ಎಷ್ಟು amino acid? There are 20 amino acids were only found. Okay, so that is AGCU 4 nitrogen bases. So ಒಂದೊಂದು ಬೇಸ್ ಒಂದು amino acid ನ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಸಿಂಗ್ಲೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, the number of amino acids specified will be only 4. There is no chances at all. Hence it is not possible. Singlet manner is not possible. Then suppose if we consider in doublets will consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, for example, like what is the combination can be written? A on one side, A, G, another side, C and U. Consider here also the same thing. Okay, so like A, G, C, U. We consider in doublets. Let us look what will happen in doublets. AA, then AG, then AC, then AU. So then GA, GG, then GC, then GU. Similarly here CA, then CG, then CC, then CU, then UA, UG, then UC and UU. What is the possibility of the codons? It means what is the number of amino acids there that is specified by the codon. If you consider in doublets will consider ಎಷ್ಟು amino acid na code ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, that is 4 into 4. 4 into 4, that is only 16 amino acids will be coded. If we consider in doublets, no, the possibilities of coding of how many amino acids, that is only 16 amino acids will be coded. Again still the 4 amino acids will remain, isn't it? Hence singlet cannot be possible. In doublet manner also, it means in the arrangement of 2 bases also it is not possible. So then what is the possibility? The possibility is only in the form of triplet codons. In the form of triplet codon. Suppose if the genetic code or the nitrogen bases, if they are arranged in the form of 3, like 3 letters like AUG, like AUC or UUU or CAA, like this, if they are arranged in the form of 3, then only there is a possibility that it can select 20 amino acids. Okay, so if you arrange like this, we can see 64 codons. You remember, a codon is a base of a group of 3 nitrogenous bases. A codon is a group of 3 nitrogenous bases that can specify a particular amino acid. Remember that. Okay. Suppose if we arrange nitrogenous bases found on the RNA in the form of triplets form now arrange madre, so we will get 64 codons. It is more sufficient to code only 20 amino acid, isn't it? And also it indicates that an amino acid is coded by more than one codon, isn't it? So there is, if we arrange that, then we get 64 different fashions, 64 manner alli naಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, 64 different codons manner alli ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ. If we arrange in such manner, manner arrange ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು, so it is more sufficient. So then to code 20 amino acid, isn't it? So but there are how many number of codons were there? The codons are 64 in number. But how many number of amino acids? The amino acids are only 20 in number, isn't it? So it is more sufficient to code 20 amino acids by 64 codon. And also another thing that indicates that if 64 codons were there, so then that indicates more than one amino acid is coded by more than one codon. An amino acid is specified by or coded by more than one codon. That is also the chances. And remember, among these 64 codons, it means if you arrange in form of triplets form alli ನಾವು arrange ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, among the 64 codons ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ arrange ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, so out of 64, 3 of the codons are said to be nonsense codons. 3 nonsense codons ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they do not code for any amino acid. They do not code for, or they do not specify any amino acid. They do not select any amino acid. Hence 3 of them are nonsense codons. Okay, 64 minus 3 is equal to 61, no? So then the standard will be 61. 61 codons will specify 20 different amino acids. 61 codons will specify 20 different amino acids. They are 64 in number, but among the 64, 3 are nonsense codons. They do not code any amino acid. Hence they are considered as nonsense codons or terminating codons. They are also considered as nonsense or terminating codons. Nonsense or terminating codons. It means the polypeptide chain synthesis that will be terminated because there is no amino acid specified by those codons. Okay, hence the polypeptide chain or protein chain that will be terminated. Okay, by them. Hence 64, if we minus 3, the nonsense codons minus madre, then the number of codons will be 61. Among 61, one will be always considered as an initiator codon. One is considered as an initiator codon. 61 ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದನ್ನು initiator codon ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. That always initiates the synthesis of a polypeptide chain. Hence 61 minus 1, that is initiator codon, then 60. It will be 60. So 60 codes or 60 codons will specify how many amino acids? 20 amino acids. 60 codons will specify how many amino acids? That is 20 amino acids. So that indicates an amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. So that is a possibility. Okay, an amino acid is coded by more than one codon when the number of codons is 60. Okay, so the concept of genetic code that was proposed as first given by H.G. Khorana and Nirenberg. Okay, so where especially Nirenberg along with his associates. He gave the concept of genetic code along with H.G. Khorana. So where for that reason they awarded the Nobel Prize for the contribution of the genetic code. Okay, elucidation of the genetic code. For that reason they awarded the Nobel Prize to H.G. Khorana and the Nirenberg and other his co-workers. Okay, so let us look into the properties of genetic code. So what are the properties the genetic code is having? See, this is important. For your examination is concerned, it will be asked for 5 marks. Write the properties for genetic code or mention any 3 properties of genetic code for 3 marks. Such questions will be asked in the examination. Okay. So let us look into the properties of genetic code. What properties is there? Genetic code ali. Okay. So one of the property of a genetic code is triplet in nature. Genetic code is triplet in nature. So what is this triplet nature of the genetic code? You know that the genetic code will always nothing but a group of 3 nitrogenous bases, a group of 3 nucleotides. A genetic code is always a group of 3 nucleotides and it is reading. Now read ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದರೂ genetic code na in the form of 3 nucleotides read ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. For example AUG, then UUU, then UAC, like that. This is the terminator codon. Okay, so then like this. We read the genetic code in the form of triplets. Triplet means in the group of 3. Always the genetic code it is found in the form of 3 in the group of 3. Hence genetic code is said to be triplet in nature. The nature of the genetic code is triplet. Read in the form of 3. They arrange in the form of 3 nucleotides of nitrogenous bases. And each of them will specify 1 amino acid. Remember the 3 nitrogenous bases together specifies 1 amino acid. Hence they are triplet in nature. Genetic code is triplet in nature. Okay. Next, the second property of a genetic code, that is genetic code is universal in nature. The second property is genetic code is universal in nature. So what is this universal property of a genetic code? See, if you consider an amino acid, ಯಾವುದು ಒಂದು amino acid ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, that amino acid is coded by the same genetic code in all living organisms. It may be bacteria, or it may be mycoplasma, or it may be plant, or it may be animal, whatever it may be. If an amino acid is specified by one codon, you know, that same amino acid is coded by the same codon in all living organisms. Suppose if UUU, if it is coding for phenylalanine, it is coding for phenylalanine, or for example like CAC, so suppose if it is coding for proline. Okay, so where the phenylalanine is coded by UUU in bacteria, in mycoplasma, in plants, in animals, in all living organisms. Phenylalanine is coded only by UUU. It doesn't change. It means that it doesn't change from one organism to another organism. It is a universal occurrence. Genetic code is universal occurrence. It means that an amino acid is coded by or specified by a particular codon in all living organisms. An amino acid is coded by a particular codon in all living organisms. ಎಲ್ಲ living organisms ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು amino acid ಅದೇ particular codon ಇಂದನೇ specify ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It doesn't change from one organism to another organism. For example, ಈಗ phenylalanine UUU genetic code for phenylalanine. So ಈಗ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ phenylalanine ಇದ್ದು ಈ ಕೊಲೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ phenylalanine UUU ಇಂದ ಕೋಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ it doesn't coded by GUG UUG, like that. It doesn't change. It is specific in all living organisms. Hence, the genetic code is said to be universal in nature. So that is another important property of a genetic code. Okay. So then, see now, I am explaining the very most important property in the genetic code is about the degeneracy of genetic code, or degenerate property, or degeneracy of genetic code. Okay, see this degeneracy of genetic code, that indicates that, see, when you look into the number of codons, how many number of codons can be seen? That is 60 codons can be seen. How many number of amino acids will be there? There are 20 different amino acids, isn't it? So that indicates, as I said earlier, that indicates an amino acid is specified by more than one codon, isn't it? An amino acid is specified by more than one codon. So what is that degeneracy? Degeneracy is nothing but it is a property of a genetic code in which an amino acid is specified by more than one codon. Okay, an amino acid is specified by more than one codon. One codon. So, and you remember, exception for few amino acids like methionine and tryptophan. Methionine and tryptophan, these are the two exceptions where they are specified by only one codon. Methionine and tryptophan, there is an exception where they are coded by only one codon. Okay, but besides these two amino acids, methionine and tryptophan ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಿಕ್ಕ 18 amino acids ಏನಿದಾವೆ, they are specified by, they are coded by more than one codon. So that is what is called as the degeneracy of the codons. And that degeneracy, you look here, suppose an amino acid, what is called as the proline, it is coded by CAC. There may be chances also CAU, it is coded by CAU, or it is coded by CAG, or it is coded by CAC. There is a chances where CAC same, no? CAC, CAU and CAG. Okay. So what are the possibilities here? It is coded by CAC, then CAU and CAG. If you look into this, okay, so this specifies one particular amino acid. No, if you look into this, what is the similarities between these three genetic code? So where the first two codons which are similar, CA, the first two codons which are found here, they are similar. The third codon, you know, that is different in all the three codons. The third base in all three codons, the third base in all three codons, that is different. But the first two which are similar, CAC, CA here similar, CAU here again CA is similar here, CAG again CA, that is similar. The first two bases which are similar. The difference is only the third base, CAC, CU, CUG. The third base is different in three different codons, isn't it? So by this it indicates that irrespective of the third base, the first two bases, you know, in a genetic code that actually specifies as an amino acid. Okay. So by looking to this CAC, CAU and CAG, so suppose if we consider like this, if the arrangement of the bases like this, the first two bases found in this which are similar, CA, 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 which are similar, isn't it? So only the third base is different. It means that indicates the first two bases actually they specify some amino acid. Irrespective of the third base, the first two base that actually specifies as the amino acid, and that base, the third base, is what is called as the Ubal base or Ubal hypothesis. This is what is regarded as the Ubal base or the Ubal hypothesis. This is irrespective of the third base in a genetic code, the first two bases which actually specifies as an amino acid, and that is what is called as the degeneracy of the genetic code. And those codes are said to be degenerate codes. The degeneracy of the genetic code that indicates that an amino acid is specified by more than one codon, especially among that the first two bases which are responsible for specifying an amino acid irrespective of the third base, and that base is what is called as the Ubal base. And that base is what is regarded as the Ubal base, and the phenomenon is what is called as Ubal hypothesis. It means irrespective of the third base, the first two bases which specifies an amino acid. See here, so for example, if I consider these two, CAC and CAU, so where they both of them, they specify an amino acid what is called as histine. They specifies an amino acid called as histine. Similarly, see here, between these two, CA which is common, C and U, the third base is only different, isn't it? Similarly, if we consider CCU, then CCA, then CCG, then CCC, the four combinations here, so that codes for proline, an amino acid what is called as proline. See here, among all the four codons, see, proline is coded by four codons, 4 codons proline ina code ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು CCU ಇರಲಿ, CCA ಇರಲಿ, CCG ಇರಲಿ ಅಥವಾ CCC ಇರಲಿ. What is the difference again? CC common, only the difference is the third base. But the first two bases that specifies as the amino acid, and that is what is called as the degeneracy of the genetic code. Okay, an amino acid is coded by more than one codon, especially in those codons the first two bases which are similar and only the third base is different. That indicates the first two codons are bases which are responsible while selecting an amino acid, and the third base, what is called as a Hubbell base, or and the mechanism is what is regarded as a Hubbell hypothesis. Okay, and that property is what is called as degeneracy of the genetic code. Okay, so this is the third property of the genetic code. Okay, then the next property here about the genetic code is genetic code is very most sensible. Genetic code is sensible. Is sensible or unambiguous. Genetic code is very much sensible or unambiguous or non-ambiguous. Okay, so what is the sensible or unambiguous property of a genetic code? See, or non-ambiguity antanu kariತೀವಿ. Unambiguous antandre, ambiguous antandre without any confusion. It means, what is this property? The sensible or unambiguous property of a genetic code is a particular genetic code that codes for a particular amino acid without any mistakes, without any confusions. It selects a specific amino acid. Suppose a genetic code called as GUG, if it is coding for an amino acid called as valine, so this GUG that specifies only valine, it doesn't specify another amino acid like tryptophan or methionine or serine or histidine or leucine or isoleucine, nothing. It specifies only valine. Hence, that is what it doesn't have any kind of confusions like while selecting whether I have to select valine or I have to select the leucine or isoleucine or threonine or tryptophan. There is nothing confusions while selecting the amino acid by a genetic code. Hence, there is no ambiguity can be seen. Ambiguity means like confusions, So there is no ambiguity can be seen. It is clear cut. It is very much sensible. So where a particular genetic code that specifies as a particular amino acid, so that is what is called as the ambiguity. Okay, without any ambiguity, the genetic code that will specify as an amino acid. So GUG, if it is coding for valine, it doesn't code for other amino acid. It means a genetic code is very much specific in selecting the amino acid without any confusion or without any ambiguity. It is very much sensible. Exceptions in case of, suppose if we apply any antibiotics, for example for bacterial cells, in such cases there may be changes. Okay, or in case of mutations also there may be changes. But normally the genetic code is unambiguous or it is very much sensible in nature. It means it specifies us a particular amino acids without any ambiguities. That is what is called as the genetic code is sensible or unambiguous. Okay. So then the next property of the genetic code is non-overlapping. Remember, this is a 5 marks question. Sometimes it is asked for 3 marks also. Genetic code is non-overlapping. See, this property, the non-overlapping property of a genetic code, that is nothing but the genetic code are the codons which are arranged in the group of a 3 nucleotides. On the mRNA, which are arranged in the form of a 3 nitrogenous bases on the mRNA. Okay. So, and they read in the group of 3. The reads in the mRNA and the DNA in the group of 3. Okay, like AUG, UUU, CAC, CCU. They are arranged without any overlapping. There is no mixing like this. Suppose AU, GU. There is no mixing like this. Illi UU irado, ee tara. Athwa illi CACC ಇಲ್ಲೇ 4 ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ UCU ಇರೋದು ಈ ತರ ಇರಲ್ಲ. There is no overlapping, there is no mixing. They are read in the manner of definite 3 bases, 3 nitrogenous bases. Their arrangement is also like that. In the mRNA, the genetic code is arranged in the form of 3 nitrogenous bases in a definite manner. Okay, and they are read in the form of 3 bases or 3 nitrogenous bases. Like AUG, UUU, CAC, CCU, like that only. There is no overlapping like this. AUG, UUU, CAC, CCU. There is nothing like that. There is no overlapping between the codons. They are arranged in definite fashion. They are arranged in a definite manner of 3 nitrogenous bases. Hence, this property of a genetic code is what is called as the non-overlapping property. So, where they are arranged on an mRNA without any overlapping. They are read in the bases of group of 3 nitrogenous bases. Okay, so that is property what is called as non-overlapping property of a genetic code. Okay, so then the next property of genetic code is commaless. Genetic code is commaless. So commaless property, it is nothing but the codons which are arranged on the mRNA as well as in the DNA, as well as the sequences of amino acids in the protein. Okay, they are arranged without any gap. The nitrogenous bases are the genetic code which are arranged on the mRNA or DNA or sequences of amino acids in the protein without any gap. Okay, there is no gap between them, or there is no punctuation mark like that. That's why it is said to be commaless. They are arranged continuously. The genetic code or codons on the mRNA or even in DNA and even in the sequences of amino acids in the protein, they arrange continuously without any gap, without any punctuations, without any gap. They are arranged continuously, and that property is what is called as commaless. The genetic code is said to be commaless. It means the sequences of bases which are found on the mRNA and sequences of amino acids in the protein and the DNA, the sequences of bases in the DNA which are arranged continuously without any gap. That property is what is regarded as the commaless. Genetic code is said to be commaless. Okay, so that is the other property of a genetic code. Okay. Then let us move on to the next property of a genetic code, collinearity. Collinearity is observed in the genetic code. Collinearity. What is this collinearity? Collinearity antandre, see, the arrangement of nitrogenous bases in the DNA, codons on the mRNA and amino acids in a protein. The arrangement of nitrogenous bases in the DNA, codons on the mRNA means the genetic code on the mRNA and amino acids in a protein, they are arranged in a linear fashion. They are arranged in a linear manner. They are arranged in a linear fashion. That is what is called as collinearity. It means there is a, as I said, there is a direct relationship between the bases found in the DNA strand and codons found on the mRNA and amino acids in a polypeptide chain. There is a direct link and they are arranged in linear fashion. ಅಂದ್ರೆ DNA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೇಸಸ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಲೈಕ್ ATC, ಲೈಕ್ CCC, ಲೈಕ್ GGG, DNA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನಸ್ ಬೇಸಸ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ತರ mRNA ಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ in place of A, here it will be U, A, G, then here it will be for G it is C, G, 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 then it is C, 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 like this. What are the arrangement of nitrogenous bases on the DNA? The same kind of arrangement can be seen in the mRNA also. The same kind of arrangement can be seen on the mRNA also. This is mRNA, okay, and this is the DNA. And suppose if the amino acids were UAG do not code for amino acid, simply I written here. Suppose if it code for amino acids like AAA amino acids, the similar amino acids can be seen. So one codon specifies one amino acid, which is UAG. Remember, it doesn't code for any amino acid, but simply I have written A. It means A means amino acids. Amino amino acid. See, there is a direct relationship between this. The arrangement of nitrogenous bases on the DNA, arrangement of codons on the mRNA, and sequences of amino acids in the protein or a polypeptide chain. There is a linearity between them. They are arranged in a linear manner, arranged in a linear fashion. And ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದಿರೋದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಬರೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಬರೋದು, ಆ ಥರ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ DNA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ mRNA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಕೋಡಾನಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಯಾವ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so that property is what is called as collinearity. Okay, then the next property, so as you know that out of 64 codons, as I said, 3 of them they are terminator codons or they are nonsense codons, and one is said to be, then remaining is 61. Among that 61, one is said to be the initiator codon. Okay, so first the next property is initiator codon. Initiator codon. Okay, so this is the next property of genetic code. See, initiator codon is nothing but this is a codon that initiates the synthesis of a polypeptide chain. It means it is present first in the mRNA. Always a codon that is found first in the mRNA, that is what is called as an initiator codon. To that, the first amino acid will be added by the tRNA. Andre first iranta codon mRNA mele first iranta codon adu first amino acid na tRNA ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ carry ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. That is the starting codon. Initiation is nothing but the starting. That is the starting codon that initiates the polypeptide chain synthesis. Andre allindane begin ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, allindane start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is the startup codon. That is an initiator codon. From where the information or the polypeptide chain synthesis that begins. Okay, see, always the initiator codon is always AUG. It is almost and always it is AUG. That codes for an amino acid what is called as methionine. AUG that codes for an amino acid called as methionine. You take majority of the proteins, in most number of the proteins, always the first amino acid is methionine. Always the first amino acid is methionine, because the reason is always the first codon is AUG. Hence, the first AUG is an initiator codon. There is some exception. Suppose if AUG is absent in some of the mRNAs as an initiator codon, in such places there will be GUG. GUG can act as an initiator codon in some. But in majority of the proteins, the first amino acid is methionine. The reason is the first codon on the mRNA, it is always and almost it is AUG. There is an exception. In some cases there will be GUG. In some cases, very rare cases, it will be GUG, but AUG is always the initiator codon that codes for methionine. Okay, so that is what is called as the initiator codon. Okay, so then the last property is about the terminator codons. So terminator codons. Terminator codons. Okay, see, as the name itself suggests, terminate. They usually terminate the synthesis of polypeptide chain. Terminator. They terminate the synthesis of a polypeptide chain. Okay. Suppose if the translational complex, it means the ribosomes, they reaches some specific codons on the mRNA. If they reach some specific sites on the mRNA, so where that mRNA region is having either of the codon, the terminator codon. Suppose if the ribosomes, if they reaches that particular codon, then the synthesis of protein will be stopped. The translation process will ends. ಯಾಕೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, terminator codons are also called as nonsense codons. Nonsense codons because they do not specify any amino acid. ಈ codons ಯಾವುದೇ amino acid ನ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ codon ಇಂದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಆಗಂತ ಯಾವುದೋ amino acid ಇಲ್ಲ. Hence ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಲಿಪೆಪ್ಟೈಡ್ ಚೈನ್ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಂಥೆಸಿಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, that will be stopped, isn't it? Hence the process of translation that will be end once the ribosomal subunits, they are very important also, because if terminator codon ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we cannot imagine the length of the protein should be synthesized by an mRNA molecule. How many number of amino acids? There is no definite number of amino acids will be in a protein if there is no terminator codon. That's why they are also very important. Even though they do not specify any amino acid, but they are very much, they plays a very important role by deciding the number of amino acids in a protein molecule. Okay. Once the ribosomal complex, once it reaches a terminator codon on the mRNA, they are found on the mRNA. It reaches a terminator codons on the mRNA. Then the process of translation or addition of amino acid, that will be stopped. There is no further addition. So then the protein synthesis that will ends once it reaches a terminator codons or the nonsense codons. Then the ribosomal subunits will dissociate, then mRNA will be degraded and the protein synthesis will be stopped. Once the mRNA, the ribosomal complex, once it reaches a terminator codons on the mRNA. Termination means ending, you know. So there are 3 terminator codons can be seen. So it will be asked for 1 marks or 2 marks. This is very important here. Like UAA, UAA, UAG and UGA. UAA, remember these, UAA, UAG and UGA, they are considered as the terminator codons because they do not specify any amino acid. Once the ribosomal complex reaches this site on the mRNA, the protein synthesis will be stopped. The process of translation will be stopped. Okay. So because there is no amino acid coded by these codons, there are three. So example ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 marks ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. For example ಈಗ UAG belongs to which codon? UAG is a terminator codon. AUG is an initiator codon. UAG is a terminator codon. ಅಥವಾ 2 marks ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Mention the terminator codons. Or for 3 marks also mention the terminator codons. At that time you have to write UAA, UAG and UGA. UAA, UAG and UGA, they are considered as the terminator codons. They do not specify any amino acid. So they are also called as nonsense codons. Okay, so once the ribosomal subunit or ribosomal complex, once it reaches these codons, any of the codon, not all the three, in an mRNA, alla mRNA nallu mooru irutte antalla, any of the codon reaches that, then the synthesis of the polypeptide chain that will be stopped. Okay, so that's why they are said to be terminator or nonsense codons. So this is all about the properties of the genetic code. So this is very important for your examination also, and to understand the next concept, that is a translation. Okay, to understand the mechanism of translation, you should know the basic concept about the properties of the genetic code. Okay, what is a genetic code? Is nothing but the definite sequences of nitrogenous bases which are found or which are transferred from DNA to mRNA and from mRNA to protein is called as a genetic code, or the definite sequences of nitrogenous bases found on the mRNA is considered as a genetic code that specifies a particular amino acid. So this is all about the properties or the characters of genetic code. Okay, so in next video I take up with the mechanism of translation. Before understanding the concept of genetic code, it is very difficult to understand the process of translation. So before that you should know about the genetic code. Thereafter we will move to the process of translation, that is nothing but the second step in gene expression or the second half of protein synthesis. Okay, so in next video I will explain about the process of translation. Okay, thank you.